We have before you Dakarai Larriett running for the U.S. Senate spot, all the
Yes.
way from Birmingham, Alabama.
Yes. Downtown Birmingham.
Downtown. So you down there by Woodlawn, down in the sticks.
Not quite,
Not
like
quite
right in
brick.
the middle of the city, First
Okay,
Avenue.
okay. Well, tell me, you're pretty young.
Well, thank you. I
Pretty,
think I look a little bit younger than I am, though.
really. So you old. But the thing with you, what brought you to this public service, and why the U.S. Senate?
Yes, it's a lifetime of lived experience, both through criminal justice, rising above false arrest, public service, and frankly, experience in corporate America that brought me here today. And really wanting to do better for all Alabamians and improve their lives through the lessons I've learned.
You know what? Your story is data so many people,
Right.
but instead of taking it and going negative with it, you trying to take a negative and turn it positive.
Exactly.
How do you think that will play in your political decision?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. I could have been anti police, anti government after my experience, but I just flipped the script. I'm writing now policy. One of my key policy proposals is called the Motorist Bill of Rights, and that protects all of us and ensures that when we're driving down the roads, and think about it, we spend so much of our lives on the roads, that we're protected. We know what the rules of engagement are when the police approach us, and that protects the police and it protects us. So I'm turning pain into policy.
You're not you've heard it. Didn't you hear you say you know something about Silicaca? Didn't you say you know something about Silicaca?
That's where I'm from.
You know anything about Silicaca?
I don't, but I have a responsibility to visit all 67 counties, so this is one stop on my 67 county listening
I
tour.
think what you'll find holistically that in regards to rural America, all the cities in Alabama share the same problem. That it crossed the board, and I look forward to seeing how you're going to tackle that. Thank you for coming to us.
Thank you so much for having me,
Yes,
Pastor.
sir.
Thank you, Frank.
Yes.
Next, we would like to bring Mr. Dakarai Larriett up here. He's running for the U.S. Senate.
Thank you so much for having me today, Anthony.
Yes, sir.
And can we start by giving you all a round of applause, please? You guys give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much for coming out today. I drove through some traffic coming through Enterprise, and I know there are a lot of other fun things to do today, like that Sweet Tea Festival. So thank you for engaging in this civic process, and especially a year and a half out. And thank you to Local 2003 for hosting us today. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Frank, and thank you, Patrick. My name is Dakarai Larriett, and I am a candidate for United States Senate, and I am looking to flip Tommy Tuberville's seat blue next year. Can I get some applause for that? Does anybody want some change? Thank you. So let me tell you guys why I'm doing this. The truth is, I'm tired. I am tired of Alabama being last in education, last in healthcare, last in economic opportunity. We can do so much better. And we deserve it, right? We deserve better. So what I would like to do is share a little bit about my background and why I think I'm the person to represent you in United States Senate and start to bring some change that improves the lives of all Alabamians. So I want to start from the beginning. I am a born and raised Alabamian. I call Birmingham home. My mom is a school teacher there, and my father served in the Army. And that took us around the world. But back in Alabama, I excelled in school. Graduated from the University of Alabama with honors, 2004. So Patrick, I am a little bit older than you think. I couldn't find a job when I graduated with honors. So I moved to New York City, and that's where I worked in supply chain. So like many of you, in and out of factories most of my professional life. I rose through the ranks there, but I found my true love and passion in community service, serving the people of New York where I lived, serving our LGBT and unhoused youth in the South Bronx, helping those impacted by addiction as a board member for National Harm Reduction, That's where I found my joy. I spent about 15 years in New York City. The pandemic hit, and I had the opportunity to work remote, so I came back to Alabama. And again, threw myself into the community work, volunteering and joining the board at University of Alabama, again, helping youth find affordable education, serving frontline in the community, volunteering in the kitchen at Meals on Wheels, delivering to our senior citizens. And I also brought my business home. So in the time that I was up in New York, I started my own pet care business. It's been very successful, and I run it for about 14 years. Just last year, I was driving through the state of Michigan, and I was falsely arrested, thrown into jail, tortured, license confiscated. And many months later, after that arrest, I got the body cam and realized those troopers were attempting to plant drugs in my car. They wanted a total ruin. The story blew up. It was national news, USA Today, every news channel in Michigan. And that experience taught me that my life's work would be focused on driving more just systems, and not just criminal justice, every system. So I've spent the last couple of months going up and down the state of Alabama, calling people, and what I'm hearing is everything's broken. Education, healthcare, economic opportunity, and that's just it. This campaign is built upon lived experiences turned into policy and kitchen table issues that we can all rally around. So education, why is that the key pillar of this campaign? That's where it starts. Education breaks the poverty cycle. I've seen it. It's worked in my family. Education builds the leaders of the future, and it attracts the businesses that will then invest in our state and give us that infrastructure that we need. When I'm on the phone, I cannot tell you how many times I hear from people who say, I don't even have internet. I don't have high-speed internet in my neighborhood. I have to be careful how long I'm online. My kids can't learn from home. That's happening in 2025. We've also got to make education more affordable and accessible for all. Healthcare. Has anyone ever been sick? No? No one over here? Okay. Wow. Talk to your doctor later. When you're sick, you're not your best. And neither is a society. We're in a situation right now where we have women driving 2 hours for maternal care. We have rural hospitals shutting down. We have people living one medical bill away from bankruptcy. This is unacceptable. We need a leader in the Senate who's going to be fighting for expansion of Medicaid, expansion of Medicare, expansion of SNAP, but also creating strategy so that we can wean ourselves off of these programs, again, through the education. And finally, economic opportunity. That means a lot of things to different people. I think about, as an entrepreneur, creating centers of excellence throughout the state where folks like me can go and get services and scale our businesses and create jobs right here in Alabama. I think about the importance of unions and collective bargaining and ensuring that workers are treated fairly and paid fairly every single day. The state has done a lot of work in giving incentives to businesses to move here and to create their plants and factories. But we've got to remember, people run businesses, and we've got to put people first. So that is the foundation of this policy, y'all. It is education, healthcare, and economic opportunity for all. And I thank you so much for considering me, Dakarai Larriett, for United States Senate. I look forward to your feedback and comments so that I can build out a proposal that can win in November, that can garner at least 51% of the vote. Thank you so much for your time and attention today.
Earlier, I don't know if you heard me ask Mr. Wheeler a question about accessibility to our politicians from the constituents. We often lobby Montgomery, Washington, D.C. at least once a year during our legislative conference. And the most disappointing part of it is not actually being able to speak to your politicians. So what would you do to ensure that we would have that opportunity?
I love that question, and thank you for asking. I think the model is Terry Sewell. And I don't know what your personal experience is with her. She's probably outside of your district. But Terry Sewell is probably the most visible congressperson I've ever seen. And she's always doing town halls. Frankly, it's almost too much. I can't go to all the town halls. She's very accessible. So that would be my model, frankly. And I'll give you a little trick. If you're in Washington, congresspeople have to eat. So go to the dining hall and stop them and make them answer your questions.
Hello, I'm Jonathan Early. Thank you for coming. Got a question about family medical leave. Do you think workers should have access to comprehensive paid family medical leave? Why or why not? And this is at the federal level, like a paid family medical leave. Do you think?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. We have got to put health first. You can't do anything when you're sick. That's an investment in the people of this country and this state. So absolutely, we've got to start codifying these benefits that we see working in other states and municipalities.
I don't have, I'm Tina Jenkins, sign business rep for our local law here. I don't have a question, but I would like to ask you, and I listened to you speak, and you spoke about unions, organized labor, so I can tell from that you support it. So the only thing that I would ask you, if you're successful in going to the Senate, will you try to help some of your fellow congressmen understand that unions are not a bunch of lazy, greedy people who just want something for nothing? Let them know that our real purpose is service to our community and justice on the job. And when we go in to bargain with the company, we never go in bargain for more than what that company can afford to give. We don't want all of the pie. We just want our share of the pie, since we're helping them with the whole pie. So I think more of the people in Congress need to really realize the purpose of organized labor. So if you're successful, or if you know anybody you can talk to up there to try to educate them, we would appreciate it. And thank you for being here.
Thank you, and I'd love to respond to that. I think a lot of the questions are forward-looking, and that makes sense. It's a year and a half from now. But I'm also trying to use this platform to drive things in the right direction. How do we move the ball down the field, even if I'm not elected? So I spent the last 20 years in corporate America in supply chain, working with unionized people. Frankly, I wish I could have joined a union, so I will be advocating for this. In fact, I want to create more protections for our corporate employees. At-will employment is not working. It's modern-day slavery.
It sure is. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.